Welcome to Spice and Pans. Subscribe to our channel for our recipes weekly.
Today we are cooking grandma minced or 阿嫲面线. First off, I have with me 6 pieces of chicken carcass. I've washed them and cleaned out as much fat as I could. I'm going to blanch them in cold water over the heat until it boils to get rid of the blood and impurities. We call this dish grandma minced because our grandmother or great-grandmother used to cook this when we were young, and we really like the taste because the broth is really very sweet and very clear, and we thought that it's good to have this dish now so that we can pass it down to the next generation. This is halfway through the blanching process. As you can see, there's a lot of scums that's coming out from the chicken. We are going to do this until the water boils for another 5-10 minutes. Water has been boiling for quite some time already. I'm going to take out all the carcasses and wash them before putting them into a pot filled with water. In a pot of boiling water, there's 5 liters of water here. I'm putting in the carcasses. In the olden days, our grandparents liked to use MSG for their cooking. Nowadays, we don't want to do that. What I'm going to do to sweeten up the soup is I'm going to add in 15 grams of rock sugar. I will be also dry roasting or dry frying some anchovies, which I'll show you in a while, and to add more flavor to this soup. We'll let this boil and simmer while we prepare the anchovies for the soup. In a pan, I'm using 350 grams of anchovies, which I've washed already. I'm going to dry roast them or pan fry them until they are dry, and then we'll add them into the soup. In the market, you can find 2 types of anchovies. One of them has actually been prepared beforehand, which means that they take out the head, they break open it into half, and they clean the inside plus take out the bones. Those are good if you want to eat them directly, but for soup, this is a much cheaper choice. The one that I'm using now is the one that you can find with the head and all the body parts all fully intact. I'm just using this for soup, so it's okay. I don't need to break out the bones because I'll be putting them inside a muslin bag, so the bones, all this will not get into the soup. And this is definitely more cost effective. Fry this until they are dry. I've been dry roasting the anchovies for approximately 20 minutes now. They are almost done. There's 2 reasons why I do this. One is it will add more flavor to the anchovies and thus making the soup more flavorful. Second is because when they are wet and you kept moving them around, what you can see is actually the guts from the anchovies, like what you can see over here. They will fall out, right? They'll fall out and it'll be all outside here. So later what I'll do is I will sieve them, and that will make your soup taste much cleaner without the bitterness because all the guts are out already. Okay, so now we will sieve the anchovies, and then we will put them in a muslin bag and throw them inside the soup. Grab some of them. Just do this. Move them around. Continue to do this so that you can get rid of the guts and whatnot. This is how the anchovies should look like after you fry them. The head will drop off and the gut will split out, and after you sieve them, you'll be very clean. Now we put the anchovies in the soup. I placed all the anchovies inside this muslin bag. I'm just going to drop this in, and we'll let this simmer for at least 1 hour. If you have more time, the longer you simmer it, the more flavorful the soup will be. So I'll put the cover back on, and we'll let this simmer for at least 1 hour. We're going to marinate the pork now. This 300 grams of streaky pork, I've sliced them quite thinly, like what you can see over here. Okay, using 2 teaspoons of cornflour. Add in half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda, dashes of pepper. Mix them up well and leave them in the fridge before you use them. Next, we will marinate the pork liver. 300 grams of pork liver sliced thinly like this. We just need to coat them with 2 teaspoons of cornflour. The reason why we want to do this is because we want this to be smooth and not that easily overcooked when we are ready to use them once we want to cook our minced. So just mix them up well and leave them in the fridge And there's no minimum time or maximum time you can marinate this. You just want to coat them around. So we take this out when we are ready to use them. Next we will marinate the minced meat. This is 350 grams of minced meat, half a teaspoon of salt, and a few dashes of pepper. Now we want to really mix them up well and also slam them until they are really compact. I'm just going to mix them up well first before I slam them. We're going to form this into meatballs later. So in order to have a nice bouncy meatball, we really need to slam this. I'm going to do this for between 20 to 30 times. It depends on the feel. Once you're done, you can cover them up and put them in the fridge and ship them before you use them. The soup has been boiling for an hour plus. Time to add in some seasoning. I'll add in 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we'll have a taste to see whether it's savory enough for our taste. Give it a good stir. And we'll taste this soup. Very nice. Full of natural sweetness. There's no MSG at all. The sweetness of the soup comes from the chicken carcass and of course the anchovies. So time to cook our noodles. Now we are going to cook the minced separately using the broth that we have prepared earlier. There's 5 scoops of soup inside this small pot. I'm using 2 pieces of minced over here. These are the thicker minced, so I can put it right now. It won't disintegrate that easily. So I'm going to put 2 of them in. I'm going to add in the pork as well as the meatballs that we have prepared earlier. A few pieces of the meat. Going to add in the meatballs now. Once the pork is about to be cooked, add in the liver. Add in the vegetables now. I'm using chai sim, a whole bunch of them. I'll add in an egg now. I don't want to overcook the egg, so I'm just laying it on top. If you like the taste of sesame seed oil, now is the time to put a few drops of them. You can also add in a little bit of hoa diao jiu to enhance the flavor. And we'll serve this now. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our version of the 阿嫲面线 or grandma 面线. I hope you like our video. Do click like on our video and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.